Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. It is Thursday, October 7th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, Ski Profit, and Sharpie back again, ready to break down the MLB Division Series. We've got Game 1s today, and we'll also talk Game 2 of White Sox-Astros tomorrow. Since that's at 2 p.m. Eastern, it'll be before our next show, which is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. So we'll talk that game as well. Let's get to it. We got a game about to start, minutes away. We've got the Chicago White Sox, Houston Astros, ALDS, Game 1 at the Juice Box, Minute Maid Park. Lance McCullers for the Astros, Lance Lynn for the Chicago White Sox. We've got the Astros minus 130, home favorites, 7.5 the total in this one. Did not bet the game from a side perspective, but I did take a look at the over 7.5 from a totals perspective in this game. And it's no disrespect to Lynn and McCullers. They've had good seasons, but I look at two very, very capable lineups, a Houston bullpen that is actually only middle of the pack, especially in the second half of the year, that did have some struggles. White Sox bullpen, very good. I don't deny that whatsoever. But gotten 7.5 here with two very capable lineups here. I think we could get this game over the total. From a side perspective, my strategy would be kind of like the Yankee game, although obviously Boston won the first 5 in the full game. But I think Houston may have a better edge early. And then if it becomes a battle of the bullpens, maybe you could look at the White Sox live, because I think their bullpen is actually a little bit more sturdy and depth-laden and trustworthy than Houston's. So that would be my approach. Maybe White Sox in-game at some point, Houston early in the first 5. But the only pregame bet I've made here for Game 1 of this one is the total, 7.5 over that number. Connor, we'll start with you here. ALDS Game 1, White Sox, Astros.
Yeah, I passed on here too. I'd lean the White Sox, though. I'm not big with Lance McCullers, even though he's a pretty good pitcher. Got the battle of the Lances here. Got little Lances on the mound. I'd rather have Lance Lynn. I know he struggled a little bit towards the end of the year, but he's plus money. And we talked about it before. I like the White Sox a little bit in this series. Can they get it done? Can they win on the road? They haven't been able to do that all year long. So that scares me a little bit. I didn't bet it, but I just lean them, and I lean under a little bit. I know it's 7.5, and that's why they have it lined there. It's perfect. Just for someone like me, man, to mull over it. If this was an 8, I'd probably be all over it on the under, and you could go first 5 under as well. But I passed. But I'd roll White Sox, and I'd lean under. It's the playoffs.
Yeah, I think from a side perspective, I probably have a stronger opinion Game 2 and beyond based on what happens in Game 1. You see how many innings you need the bullpen, who's available, that kind of thing. So that's why from a side perspective, I'm just sitting this one out. Ski, what do you like here with White Sox Astros?
Yeah, the game starts in 1 minute, so I won't take too much time. I like first 5 under 4. That's what I bet, and I lean Astros.
All right, first 5 under and lean to the Astros. And look, Connor brought up the points, right? Do we know the White Sox can beat good teams consistently? Not always. Do we know they can win on the road constantly? We don't know that. So these are going to be tests for the White Sox in this series in both regards. What I do like is their form down the stretch was better than Houston's. So we'll see if that can carry over. Sharpie, what do you like in this game?
Houston Astros money line, run line, plus 155. This is an Astros smash spot, guys. I know the game's going to start. Better bullpen by far is the Houston Astros. They're number 1 all season long. Go to their 30-15s. They beat them every which way, guys. Astros smash spot.
All right, there you go. Astros to smash here, says Sharpie in this first game against the White Sox.
Lance Lynn with a 4.8 playoff ERA in bad form. Give me the better pitcher. Let's go.
Yeah, and he's been good at home, of course, too, McCullers. Let's not forget that. Very good here at Minute Maid Park. All right, the second game tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Game 1. Again, the ALDS, the other ALDS, the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. We've got a battle of lefties here. Eduardo Rodriguez for Boston, Shane McClanahan on the mound for Tampa Bay. We've got the Rays minus 150 to minus 160. Home favorites in this game, 8 the total in this one. I'm on the Rays. I don't have this. I'm on the side here. Nothing on the total, but I like the Rays here. Credit to the Red Sox. Well done beating the Yankees. But I don't trust Eduardo Rodriguez necessarily. I think Tampa Bay just had a pretty good time of it recently facing him. For a playoff start, he's been good at times, but he's also had some rough starts. I like the way this sets up too for the Tampa Bay's bullpen, and certainly in this series, if I like Tampa Bay, I'm going to look at the full game in this series because you want that bullpen to be on your side. But I think it sets up well. Sometimes these teams that win the wild card, they can, ride the momentum, ride the wave, if you will, into game one. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think there's a significant difference between these two teams overall. When you look at it, let's not forget, Boston took advantage of a Garrett Cole that had a terrible month of September, that clearly, didn't pitch any better the other night in the wild card round. And I like the way McClanahan's going. McClanahan for the Rays has given up like one run and not more than that in the majority of his recent starts. He's been very good for Tampa Bay. And if he can get 4 or 5 innings of one-run ball, you hand it over to that slew of arms Tampa Bay can roll out there from that bullpen. I think it's going to be tough for Boston to string hits, string runs together in this game. So I would lean under, but I like Tampa Bay here. And this is one game where I'm just going to go minus 148, minus 150. I'll just lay the money line. No -1, no first 5. Give me the full game money line. In the playoffs, I'm more willing to pay the piper, pay up to lay a price on the money line. And that's what I'm going to do here with Tampa, minus 150. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Boston, Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I think this we'll see with the Red Sox, with Rodriguez. I mean, this is a guy, he had back-to-back starts in August where he pitched well against Tampa, and then he gave up whatever it was, 6 earned runs in about 3 innings. And he talked about since Cruz got there, the Rays hit lefties. I've been on the Rays kind of all year. Like I said, I think they're going to win the pennant again. I think they're the best team. I mean, I get why you see a little value with the Red Sox at plus 138. I don't think so. I think the Rays win here. I'd lean under as well. I like McClanahan. And think about it. I was thinking going first 5 and full game. But the Rays even though at times they struggled in the last month, their bullpen, the Red Sox bullpen's not good. So they're the full game. So give me the Rays full game here.
All right, liking the Rays full game there as well. Ski, what do you like here, Boston, Tampa Bay game 1?
Initially, I wanted to look towards an under. I just really trust Tampa Bay's pitching, but I can't trust Rodriguez. And like Conor mentioned, I also don't trust the bullpen. So, I mean, what advantage does Boston have in this game right here? That's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm with you, Ian. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm going to just take the Rays I took them minus 145. And I just think they have the advantage in everything. Starting pitcher, bullpen. Look at the last 2 weeks versus lefties, weighted runs created plus. They're 4th compared to, I think, 18th or 16th. I don't see any advantage for the Red Sox in this game. So give me Tampa Bay.
All right, liking Tampa Bay as well. And, that's the thing with Boston. Yeah, they rise up, beat the Yankees at Fenway at the wild card game. It's also a team that lost 2 to Baltimore, late in the regular season when they desperately need wins, to make the playoffs. So this Boston team, it's definitely a difficult one to trust. Of course, we know they feasted on the home run ball a little bit against Lynn. Probably more difficult here, especially in this ballpark, to hit it out here, Tropicana Field. Keep that in mind. So, again, kind of a team that feasted on the home run ball the other night as well. What do you think here, Sharpie, with Rays and Red Sox?
I haven't placed a bet yet because, like you guys said, there's so much going on, and there was so many little ways I wanted to attack this. Let's get into McClanahan, guys. McClanahan, he started pitching in 2019 in the minors. He hasn't pitched more than 127 innings in his life. He's at 124. So that's enough to start giving me enough pause to look on McClanahan. Like, he's never pitched this deep in his whole career. Now we got to expect him to be good. And then we got Rodriguez, who's got a 6 ERA at home and a 4 on the road. So Rodriguez at home where he's technically better at. Rays are killing lefties the last 30 days. They're 2nd average, 3rd OPS. Wander Franco, Nelson Cruz. They put Meadows at the end versus the lefty because he don't even really have good numbers versus the lefty. Their batting lineup is just nasty. And Boston, I know their bullpen sucks. But what they did in that playoff game, and Alex Cora does have a mind, guys. If Hawk is going to be used out of the bullpen and Whitlock is going to be in good form, they've got an 8-9 guy right there, guys. Hawk was a legit starter for them and now got thrown into the bullpen, and he shut the Yankees down when he was told to. So I'm kind of iffy on just all these iffies. Like, it's the playoffs. What's really going to happen? Is the Boston's freaking numbers going to be as bad as they've been all year? Or is this new revamped bullpen going to do something? It's just too much shit going on to where I'm going to end up betting Tampa Bay scores first. That's where I broke it down. McClanahan, he's got a 2 ERA the first 2 innings. It balloons to a 4.345. We know what Rodriguez is going to do, or what we expect him to do. Everybody's expecting Rodriguez to get hit. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay score first on this game.
All right, Tampa Bay to score first. That's
Ish.
actually a solid way to go because I think they will have a good chance to score first. McClanahan, you mentioned first time, even into the second time through the lineup, better than third or fourth time, and that points you maybe to Tampa Bay scoring first. Yeah, Ski, go ahead.
No, I talked to my boy. Yeah, y'all know him. Noli knows. I talked to him earlier today,
Yes.
and he was saying a lot of stuff that Sharpie's saying. So you preaching to Noli right now. I see him in the comments. Exactly, Sharpie. So
Let's go, Knowles. Let's go.
about that Red Sox bullpen, I guess I don't see it, but you guys probably know a little bit more than I do.
Well, keep in mind, Brazier's not very good. And Josh Taylor, they miss him. Josh Taylor was a very good reliever for him, and now he's on the IL. But Tanner Houck was a very good spot starter for them throughout the year. They've clearly moved him to a back end of the bullpen role based on what Cora did the other night, and that he's good in that role. He can be good for an inning or two if you need out of him. And Whitlock, now that he's back from IL and they've activated him, he's been their best reliever all year. And that people were wondering, wait a minute, second, Matt Barnes is off the roster. Well, maybe now we're finding out why that is, because he's got more faith in Houck. He's got more faith in a returning Whitlock in the back end of the Red Sox bullpen than he does. Who would have confidence in Matt Barnes, with the way he pitched, at that point? There's a reason they left him off the roster. I don't question Cora's managing decisions. Like, we've seen enough evidence with him as a manager. He knows what he's doing. He's good. He is a good manager. I don't think there's much denying that at this point. So you're right. I think the Red Sox do have a better chance of competing with this Rays bullpen, but are they going to get the lead is the question. Because
Are they going to get 6 innings out of starters? Yes. Yeah, I mean, Are you going to get 6 like out of Vivaldi? That's the big key. I mean, if you can get 6 or 7, then yeah, this might work. But if these guys like Rodriguez are going to be out in maybe the 4th inning, they're screwed. I mean,
the numbers say Rodriguez is out, bro. They're crushing them.
Yeah.
Here's Rodriguez. Here's Rodriguez, the last, going back to August, 5.1, 5, 3.2, 6, 3.2, 6, 4.1, 5, 5 innings pitched. It's just not a guy that's going to really go 6, 7 innings like Eovaldi did the other night against the Yankees. And that's the problem. It's all nice and fine to say, yeah, we got Houck now. We got Whitlock now. Well, you're only going to see them at the back end of the game and only if tied or with the lead. And if you're not going to get more than 4 or 5 out of Eduardo, are you really going to be tied or have the lead in that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning so you can see those guys? Probably not. So that's the dilemma. But that's why in-game betting at playoff time is a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
You can see this play out in real time and then make decisions that I think point to some of the factors and things and intangibles we're talking about right now. While breaking down this game. So keep that in mind. That's why I think sometimes playoffs, it's not always the worst thing in the world to say, you know what, I didn't bet anything pregame. Let me see how the game flow plays out, and we'll bet something live. I think this could be one of those games you could take advantage of some opportunities. All right, we're going to move ahead to tomorrow, all right, because this game's at 2 p.m. Eastern. Before we start our next show, which will be at 4 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. It's the White Sox and the Astros, and it's game 2. Between these two teams, it's going to be Lucas Giolito for the White Sox, Framber Valdez for the Astros in this matchup. We've got Houston right now currently lined at -130. Now, remember, this is a pre the finish of game 1 line. You might see an adjustment in this line based on the way game 1, which is now underway, currently plays out. But right now, we're looking at Houston -130 for game 2 tomorrow. Valdez against Giolito. And the total 8.5 in this game between these two. Of course, Valdez for the Astros, 2.41 ERA last 3.14 ERA overall, 3.45 ERA at home this year. Struggled a bit in his last start against Oakland to end the regular season. Has faced the White Sox twice this year and has given up 7 runs and 13 hits in 13.1 innings. So not the greatest track record when you're talking Valdez against the White Sox. Giolito on the flip side for the White Sox, very good down the stretch. In fact, really his best baseball came post All-Star break. He had that little up and down stretch late first half of the year going into the break, but really coming out of the All-Star break, he's given up 3 runs or less in 9 straight starts, just 2 runs allowed in his last 16 innings of work down the stretch of the regular season. Dominated Houston when he faced them in July. Complete game, 1 run, 3 hits, 10-1 victory for the White Sox. So The point is, this is the spot where I'm looking to take the White Sox. I did not take the White Sox in game 1 today because I like McCullers a little bit, not totally trusting of Lynn either. This is the spot where I might look to back the White Sox here at a plus price. I like Giolito's form. He shut down the Astros when he faced them in July. And Valdez, a little bit more spotty down the stretch. And certainly the White Sox did more damage against Valdez during the regular season than the Astros did damage against Giolito, who completely shut them down when he faced them in July. So I'm kind of hoping, guys, that Houston wins today, and for Sharpie, of course, for Sharpie's bet. We hope Houston gets it done. But I'm also hoping they win today, Houston, because then you got the White Sox down 1-0, desperation spot. You don't want to go down 2-0. Giolito's form's been good. They hit Valdez a little bit during the season, the White Sox, and the Astros got nothing against Giolito, essentially. So I think it's a good matchup for the White Sox. I like them at the plus price tomorrow, especially if Houston wins game 1 this afternoon. Connor, what do you think here? Game 2 tomorrow afternoon, Friday, White Sox, Astros.
Yeah, I think if Houston wins big, I just don't trust Giolito. I never have much. So it'll be tough. And I can't find Valdez. He's just up and down. The guy dazzles with all those slow curves and looks unreal. And other times he walks a ton of guys and can get hit because he doesn't throw that hard. So it's a wait and see. I'll just wait here after game 1. Like I said, I have nothing here. I'm just going to wait.
All right, nothing yet for game 2. And again, this game's tomorrow afternoon. Game 1 is ongoing right now, so you can always sometimes you like to wait to see how game 1 finishes until you get involved and start thinking game 2. But right now, I'll tell you, I'll be on the White Sox probably either way, but especially we'll probably like it even more if they lose game 1 to the Astros here this afternoon. Ski, what do you think here with game 2 with the White Sox Astros on Friday?
Yeah, I didn't look too much into it. So could you repeat the line for me?
Right now, we've got Astros minus 130 with Valdez on the mound over Giolito, and the total 8.5.
Okay, so that would put the White Sox at about what, plus 110 maybe?
That's right. Yep, plus 110.
Well, if you're getting the White Sox at plus money, like plus 110 or above, I think I would probably look towards them. And the reason I would say that is Giolito, right? Giolito versus Valdez.
That's right. Yep.
I like what I saw for Giolito lately. Like down the stretch, he was looking pretty decent. And Valdez, I don't have anything against him. It's just I know that the White Sox are really good versus lefties, and they're just going to have a lot of righty bats tomorrow. So I would take the White Sox if I'm getting plus money.
Yeah, and by the way, Giolito, the White Sox ended the season 5-0 in Giolito's last 5 starts, and overall 7-3 in his last 10. So White Sox doing pretty good, winning with Giolito down the stretch. Sharpie, obviously game 1 still going on with these two, but game 2 tomorrow. Right now, what are your first opinions?
First opinions would be a White Sox team total first 5. Like I definitely want to attack Valdez. Like you guys are saying, White Sox versus lefties, they're top 4 or 5 average OPS type. But the Astros are even better than that versus righties, guys. That is enough to make me like, I'm going to have to dig into it. It's either going to be a first 5 over for me or a White Sox team total over. But I do know Cease is a completely different pitcher on the road than at home. And yes, he has been good the last few weeks, but he typically is way better at home than on the road.
Yeah.
Sharpie, isn't Astros bullpen kind of untrustworthy? I think I would go White Sox team total.
Okay, I know everyone says Astros bullpen is untrustworthy. They're the number 1 bullpen season long, the number 5 the last 30 days, and the number 4th the last 15th. Like, how is that not good?
Well, I gotta look at my numbers again now after you say that.
Bro, like I wrote them. I clicked it a few
middle of the
times.
Bullpen, and it's like in certain categories, but
I'm talking ERA wise.
Yeah,
they are number 1 ERA season long. Like it trips me out. So their bullpen numbers say they're a decent bullpen. They're better than the White Sox on paper. They might not have the names that the White Sox have, but I want the numbers.
Okay, I see what I was looking at. I usually cap baseball, and I look at the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And last 2 weeks, I have them at 5.09 ERA, 22nd.
No, I know down the stretch of the regular season, it was rough for them. Like the last week or two, definitely. They've had some.
Did I flip my numbers? Okay. Go ahead.
There we go.
I think I might have flipped it.
There you go. Maybe there is. So then because I know they've had a tough time the last couple of weeks. That Astros bullpen. Last week was rough for them. They gave up some leads, gave up some runs.
Yeah, they struggled down the stretch. They had that bad part in the middle of the year. Then they they did well, and they won.
Mine say
kind of at the end
last 14 is a 2.6 on Fangraphs.
That's what I'm using too.
Wow.
I don't know. Somebody, maybe it's me. Let me just make sure I have everything correct here.
Well, again, but some of these sites could have a misprint too. But when you look at it,
They do.
When I found MLB.com screwed me over midway through the year, bro. Oh, their stats are wrong.
Yeah. See, I've got last 10 games Astros bullpen at 6.1 ERA. Last 10 games. Again, that's a very small sample size. That's barely a week.
I've got 14 loaded up, but oh well. Maybe my computer hates me. I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah. So, but bottom line is, I do like the White Sox pen more than the Astros. I do. I know that for a fact. I like some of their arms better than the Astros. So that's why it's important for the White Sox today in the game that's going on now and tomorrow. Get a solid enough start from Lynn and from Giolito, and turn it over to that bullpen if you're tied or only if you're trailing by a run or so. You're going to have a chance to win those games because your bullpen's pretty good. And there's still some questions about some of that Astros pen. And Noli makes a good point. Yeah, Dusty Baker sometimes has got these questionable decisions. Like, look, Dave Roberts comes out, smelling like a rose last night, pulling Scherzer when he did. And that could have easily backfired, but thankfully it didn't.
I know it didn't.
All's well that ends well. He gets ripped. He gets skewered. He gets absolutely criticized and ridiculed if Scherzer's taken out and then Kelly doesn't get the job done there.
I still ripped him after Kelly got the job done. That's bad managing, and once again, the Dodgers made up for his bad managing.
Yeah. That's it. That's how I feel.
Skewered. I like that one. I'm gonna have to use that one.
We go stab him.
Yeah, a little skewer. Yeah, not a chicken skewer. We're talking about human being skewers, like as in they want to come after you for doing shit like that. So yeah, it was a roll of the dice for him. It's just like it was a roll of the dice for Cora taking Eovaldi out when he did. But he got away with that too in the wild card game the other night. That's the way the managers are. They can make all these moves, and if it works, they're going to be praised. Like, what a move, what a great managerial job that was. Sometimes, even if it works out well, it's still not a good move, and that you got to remember that. And that might have been the case with Dave Roberts there last night with Mad Max. But nevertheless, by the way, I understand it was a trying season. You won 106 games. I get all of that, and you're disappointed that you didn't win the division, that you had to play a wild card, maybe some relief. Get the stress out of your system. I get all of that. But come on, guys. We're going to party and celebrate hard last night if you're the Dodgers after winning a wild card game. A wild card game. You're the defending World Series champions, guys. I mean, my goodness. I mean, you acted like you defended the title with that win last night.
Settle down, man.
You know what sucks? Is my stats were on 2019 for pitching, dude, and I can't call my bookie and be like, the game started. Give me my fucking bets back.
No,
there's some live fucking action for you, fellas. That's like, why is mine not matching? What the fuck? And I'm like, oh, the year, fucking great.
All right, good stuff, guys. No, just. Look, celebrate is good. I mean, they should celebrate. Should celebrate. Have fun getting past the wild card game like that, in a game that you walked off with the home run. But that was, to me, that was celebrating times a million last night with that Dodgers clubhouse celebration. Like,
I don't think they celebrated though during this. They didn't have anything to celebrate because they were just going to that game. You get it? I thought it was overboard too, but they never did anything because they didn't clinch to the division.
That's right.
So they had nothing to celebrate. So it was a little, I thought, over the top. But yeah, they're in. Okay.
Wow.
They got drunk.
You got freaking the San Francisco Giants waiting for you now at Pac-Man Stadium or whatever they don't call it. That's
Oracle Park.
Oracle Park there in San Francisco, waiting for you. That they've given you nothing but grief, nothing but fits, nothing but problems all year, and it's going to be a tough, hard series. And here are these guys just partying their ass off just 2 days prior after winning a damn wild card game when they're the defending champions. I thought we shot for higher goals than that, but
it's a grind. It's a grind, my guy. We just finished the first part. Let's party. Now let's get to work.
It is. No, it's different. It's a different animal. NBA, NHL.
It was so bad with the Dodgers a few years ago. They wouldn't celebrate playoff victories because they were just, we have to go to the World Series and win it. We have to. We're not celebrating this playoff win. Nah, bro, enjoy it. It's baseball. Have some fun.
And that's the difference. You're right. It's the grind of the sport. It's 162 games. You play April to October. Actually, you start in February if you factor in spring training. It's a long year. You play every single day. If you want to cut loose a little bit after, that kind of win last night, that kind of game. I get
that's
that
why I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it's because they won 106 games, had to play up the playoff, and there was, had a walk-off jack. So I think they were.
Yeah. I think that the way they won too. Like if they beat the shit out of the Cardinals like 8-0 and they just quietly win that game, maybe they don't party as much, but maybe the way they won too factored in. But you're right, baseball's that grind. You play almost every day for like 6 months. NHL, NBA, you play only every other day for 82 games. NFL, you only play once a week and its season's over in 4 months. So yeah, I get it. It's totally different baseball, and sometimes you just need that. We gotta have some fun and enjoy. So maybe that was part of it last night with the Dodgers. All right, before we wrap up, we'll do a little football here on the show. We've got 2 college games. Connor and I will talk about those, and then we'll bring in Ski and Sharpie for NFL, and we'll talk Rams and Seahawks as well, which is tonight. But the college games, Connor, we talked about these earlier in the week. I haven't changed my stance on them. I lean to the over in both of these games. Houston, Tulane, and Coastal Carroll. I certainly won't bet the under in the Coastal game. Not with that Arkansas State defense. It's terrible. It's given up 50 points, 500 yards per game on average. It's a high number, but it's high for a reason at 72.5, 73. So that's where I lean with both the college games is with the over. I kind of lean to Tulane just a little bit as a home dog, even though they have disappointed and Houston's on a roll right now. Houston's had some trouble in the past, with this Tulane team, and I still like their offense quite a bit, even though their defense has been awful. They might be able to cover as home dogs, but it's not a strong opinion. For me, it would be a lean to Tulane and a lean to the over in both of the games tonight with Houston, Tulane, and Coastal Carolina, Arkansas State. Connor, what do you think of the 2 Thursday night college football games?
Yeah, I mean, Coastal should score 50 something. So yeah, even at 73, it's gone up that high. I'd still take the over. I think Arkansas State can score. We'll see. Coastal's defense, are they getting better? I mean, they kind of shut out where they were giving up a few touchdowns, or will they bring in the second team if they're up by 50? And Arkansas State can score a little bit. They can move the ball. So I still think that can get over. Coastal's team total, what is it, 45? I mean, that could maybe get there. I think they get 50. I mean, for at least 7 touchdowns, that's 49. So I like that and the over. In the other game, I'm going to stay off. I thought Houston played great, but now they're laying almost a touchdown. If I had more than a touchdown, I'd maybe look at Tulane, but Tulane hasn't looked good to me the last few weeks. That game's just a sit. I'm going to just watch that one.
All right, nothing wrong with that. Just sitting it out with the Houston and Tulane game. Like I say, I like the over. I lean Tulane, but I like the over a little bit more, 59.5, 60 in that game. And then definitely liking over the total in the other game. Because Arkansas State, when you look at it, I mean, it's just been absolutely hideous. I mean, last week against Georgia Southern, who's not even a good offensive team, and Georgia Southern's got 59 against them. 59, Georgia Southern. What could Coastal do if Georgia Southern is hanging 59 on you? Unbelievable.
79? I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah.
How high can it go? And by the way, Grayson McCall's playing. There was some talk he may miss this game. He's been a little bit banged up, but no, he's good. He's going to be in there for Coastal. What a great quarterback. I mean, they run it, they throw it. It's going to be tough for that Arkansas State defense. But their own offense, Arkansas State's not bad with Blackman. Blackman's played all right for them offensively for Arkansas State, the Florida State transfer. So keep an eye on that. All right, we'll turn now to the Rams and the Seahawks NFL action. This should be a good one. This is one of the better on paper Thursday night NFL games of the year. You got the Rams, a small road favorite in Seattle, 2.5 point road favorites currently. The total in this one, 54 across the board. I said earlier in the week on the Hitting the Books show on Monday, and I said it earlier on the Football Frenzy, I like the Rams here. I like how it sets up. I like that they're only laying less than a field goal. I think they'll find a way to get the victory here in this game. Seattle's defense played well against San Francisco last week, but Trey Lance looked lost. And prior to that, Seattle's defense got ripped apart by Minnesota, struggled at times with a mediocre Indianapolis offense, struggled big time against the Tennessee Titans, blew a second-half lead and lost because their defense couldn't get stops against Tannehill and Derrick Henry in that game. You got the Rams. Look, they got slapped around by Arizona. That was their wake-up call. That was their get everybody, back refocused, get that intensity back up because they didn't have it. They were off the big win against Tampa Bay, and they just didn't play as well. I think that passing game of the Rams with Stafford and Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Van Jefferson, they could do some serious damage. That Seattle secondary ain't nothing to write home about. I still don't think they get a consistent pass rush, to be honest with you, unless they blitz. That they got issues defensively matching up. The Rams are 6-2 the last 8 head-to-heads versus the Seahawks. So Sean McVay's gotten the better of Pete Carroll in recent years. I like the situation. I know it's a road team, short week, Thursday night football, but McVay has been there, done that before with this Rams team. He's used to it. And we saw the road team cover last week on Thursday night football, Jacksonville against Cincinnati. So I think it's a close game. I'm not going to go in there in Seattle, tough place to play, and blow them out. But I think they'll win by like 6-7 points, something like that. I'll take the Rams here. I'll probably go money line instead of laying the 2. We'll go with the money line price instead on the Rams. Conor Mac, Thursday night NFL, Rams Seahawks.
This one's a difficult game for me. Everyone says, yeah, the Rams are going to bounce back. McVay's so good, off a loss. But it's not easy to go Seattle. The only thing that's holding me back, I'd be all over the Seahawks, is that defense. It's just been horrible. I'd love if I get a 3. I'd take Seattle for sure. They still have Russell Wilson, and I think that keeps them in the game. But that defense, I just keep watching how horrible, that secondary is. They can't get to the quarterback. So the Rams should be able to pick them apart. But then I look at, okay, this game should go over. The total's high. But this division game in Seattle, maybe that always boxed me off, this high total. So difficult one here for me. I've been going back and forth all day long. So it's probably non-play. I don't like to play Thursday nights. We talk about that. Ian, it's not big for me, short rest. But if I had to free bet right, I'd lean right now with the Seahawks getting the 2.5.
All right, Lena with the home underdog, and they have a good long-term track record, at least a decent long-term track record, Seattle as a home dog. But sometimes some of those they were getting more than a field goal. They're still a must-win, or they got to win the game if they're going to cover the number here, Seattle. But no, this is a good game. I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I think it should be higher scoring, but we're talking 54. It's pretty high for a Thursday night NFL game. I know the Rams have gone over the total in every game this year, but pretty high number, 54 for a Thursday night. That's be the one concern with that. Ski, what do you like here with this Thursday night NFL game?
I've gone back and forth on this game a lot. And, Russell Wilson, primetime games, he's been awesome. But I can't trust. There's a lot of things I can't trust. I can't trust the defense from the Seahawks. That's the number one thing. And that Rams offense is just too legit. And then I think about, like you mentioned, Ian, like I didn't have those numbers, but as far as I can remember, like the Rams have been beating up on the Seahawks. I think you said 6-2. Yeah. And I think a big part of it is because, look at that defensive line that's going to be chasing Russell Wilson around all game long. He's going to be running for his life. So I don't see that happening on the flip side. Like I see Stafford being able to have time to do whatever he needs to do. So for those reasons, I probably have to look more towards the Rams here. And I hate to bet the road team on a Thursday. It's just something I usually don't like to do because I think they're at a real disadvantage. But I think the Rams are the better team. And so I'll rock with the better team to win on the money line.
You look at the Seahawks, like the Rams have not been perfect defensively either. They've given up some points at time, but Seattle, you look at what they've given up, 152 rushing yards per game, 4.6 average, 444 total yards this season allowed per game, and 292 through the air, almost 300 passing yards per game allowed by Seattle at 7.5 yards per attempt, 11.1 yards per completion allowed. That's recipe for absolute disaster against a Rams offense that throw out last week. Arizona's a good football team, first of all. Throw that out for a bit. That offense will be better. They were just out of sync, a little bit flat last week. They'll be much better in tune this week. And with that Seattle secondary giving up almost 300 passing yards per game, 11 yards per completion, those stats indicate they're giving up big plays as well. And we've seen Matt Stafford connect deep balls with Kupp, deep balls with Jefferson. He's stretched the field vertically, and you worry about that in the coverage game if you're Seattle. What do you think here, Sharpie, Thursday night game?
So much fun. We got freaking football and playoff baseball. We're going to have lots of TVs
it's a great
going.
Thursday.
But shout out to the Pub Sports Radio chat. Shout out to you guys. Smash the like. Our Discord be popping, guys. We broke this game down pretty damn well. And after I already bet the Rams money line, then you hear McVay 13-6-1 ATS off a loss, 8-2 on the road off a loss ATS. Like, I'm not worried about a team going into Seattle. I know Seattle's a tough place to play, but I also look at last week was a flat spot. My boy KP was all over the Cardinals saying, dude, they just beat the Bucks, bro. They're not coming to play this week, bro. It is what it is. There is flat spots in the NFL. Last week was one for the Rams, guys. I look at the Rams as a top 3 team. Their offense is legit, like you guys are saying. And Seattle's defense is dog shit. But they are really, really, really good versus the deep pass. They're top 5 versus the deep pass. That's why I won't be playing Van Jefferson today. And I'm on Tyler Higbee over 40.5. I expect him to get lots of they're bad versus the run. Play action is going to set up Cooper Kupp and Higbee all damn day. They outpriced Cooper Kupp at 6.5 at -160. Take him up to 7.5. Get your plus money. He's either going to have 9 or 10 or 5. Don't screw with no -160 juices out there, please. And both games went to the under last year. It is a division game, like you guys are all saying. But the Rams have been one of the teams that are just over or nothing, guys. The way they're playing, guys, they're like the Chiefs offense from last year. They can score quick and real quick. So I cannot bet an under with the Rams. I just can't.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's over or pass. It's just I'll either keep it small or not bet it with the number 54, but I'm certainly not looking under in this game with these 2 teams, especially that Rams offense. And again, every Rams game has cashed an over this year. Yeah,
I was with Connor in Vegas. I had the over in the Saints or the Rams Bucks game. It was 0-0 7 minutes into the second quarter. Got over 56.
Yeah, it just exploded after that because you got quick strike ability.
Ability on both sides too.
Yeah, they're not methodical down the field offenses. The Rams they can be, but they also can strike from like the 70-yard touchdown at any moment with what they've got at their disposal. And even Seattle can do that from time to time, especially if Wilson rolls out and he throws that little rainbow deep pass. He's got a great rainbow deep pass, Russell Wilson. There's no question. And we'll see if he may have to pull off some of those tonight because that defensive front of the Rams is going to be tough for that Seattle line to block that group. You know, they were struggling with San Francisco, an injury-riddled San Francisco defense and defensive front last week to block and protect for Wilson for over the first half before they finally got going. It's going to be just as tough, if not more, with the Rams defensive front tonight.
I would like to say about that defensive front, every running back prop is cash versus the Rams this year against the Rams. Yeah. David Montgomery cash.
Banged up though.
Carson is banged up. If he doesn't play, it's a call and smash spot, bro. Like in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely something because Carson, you're right, is at least last check doubtful to play tonight. So keep that in mind. So
I had to take him off my fantasy squad, so I know.
I have him in right now, and I'm not happy because I have no one else to fucking put in, Ski. So it's like I'm like, please give him some reps tonight. I got Michael Carter in my flex.
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah, exactly.
Ouch. I don't have nobody to fucking put in.
As they say in Letterkenny, that's a real ouchie, bro. Yeah, absolutely is. Yeah, that is a real fucking ouchie, bro. That's exactly what that is. The Michael Carter news, no doubt. Ralph Bryant saying Stafford has never beat Seattle in his whole career. Well, those are all Detroit Lions stats, though. Lousy franchise. That's the thing. So you got to take those with
a grain of salt.
And probably better Seattle teams than this one over those years as well. So, and of course, he's on Detroit, terrible football team. So, you know, you got to take that one with a grain of salt, that statistic. But and plus, people saying we got to back Seattle. They're 4-0 in these funky, colorful jerseys they're going to wear tonight. I mean, that's if it helps you support and prop up your Seattle bet, okay. But for me, that's not something that's significant to me. 4-0 with the certain jerseys on. No.
Ian, do you do power rankings?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So if the Rams lose this game, how many spots do you think they'll drop on your power ranking?
Well, if they lose this game tonight, it depends on how badly they lose it. Because the performance, it's not just losing; it's how poor you look in a loss that will reflect how bad they drop. In my opinion, I've still got the Rams number 3 team right now. Like
I do too.
I've got Buffalo and Arizona 1-2, and I've been higher on Arizona than everybody. So I'm not shocked that I've got Buffalo and Arizona 1-2. Buffalo's looked amazing. Arizona's been that good so far, and I've got the Rams 3 behind those two teams. That's where I'm at right now with my top 3. Would they fall to 4 if they look bad tonight? Potentially, but then I got to wait to see what those other teams that play this weekend do, because I've got a bunch of other teams that are right there, right behind the Rams. In my, let me just bring them up here. My power rankings, because I got them in chart form here. Here we go. Right now. All right. I've got Buffalo. I've got Arizona. I've got I've got the Rams number 3. I've got in terms of number 4 here. I've got. Hold on, I lost my spot here.
I got the Bucks at 4.
You got the Bucks at 4. See, I've got the Bucks at 5. I've got Steve's Chargers at 4. I've
got Chargers at 5.
Yeah.
So we're numbers.
Top 5. Yeah, there's my top 5 right now. Bucks 5, Chargers 4, Rams 3, Cardinals 2, Bills 1. I've got Kansas City 10th. Like
I've got them 9th
for them. I'm sorry.
We're like going off.
You've got an electric offense. I get all of that. You have no business being higher than 10th in the NFL right now, because your defense is pathetic if you're the Chiefs. Pathetic right now. With that kind of defense, you shouldn't be higher than that in my mind. So I don't mind having Kansas City lower. I mean, I'm getting these people that are Joe Public NFL fans, that casually bet. They love the league. They watch, but they don't like handicap bet as seriously as I do. KC 10th sounds like Max Kellerman. I don't want to be compared to him. But you got to have a better defense for them to be 10th. That's a simple fact right now. Simple fact. I mean, Mahomes hasn't been able to outscore some of these issues with that defense. The Chargers loss stands out. They're lucky Philadelphia turned the ball over. So to me, Chiefs have to improve that defense. There's issues there. Not winning a Super Bowl with that defense unless it improves. That's the way I see it. And look, the Chargers beat the Chiefs head to head. So what? I'm supposed to have the Chargers lower than the Chiefs right now, and the Chargers beat the Chiefs head to head.
I have the Chargers over the Cowboys, and the Cowboys beat them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I get that, but that's a division game. And on the road they won that game too. The Chargers.
Oh yes. Chargers are good, bro. Yeah. If they're healthy, they're good.
Yeah. But this can change, though. I mean, if Kansas City does one game or two where they keep winning, and I see much improved defense, I see the pass rush come back, their ability to – their linebackers suck, by the way. Anthony Hitchens and all these guys at linebacker for the Chiefs are terrible right now. And their secondary's been kind of disappointing. Where's Honey Badger? Need more plays in the pass defense from him. But, all it takes is the Chiefs to keep the offense rolling, which we know they can. Improve on defense, maybe win some games by forcing some turnovers, getting some stops, and then a 10th place ranking in my power ratings with the Chiefs can very quickly become a top 5 one again, because that's all it's going to take. Just a couple of really good games of defense, and they could make a skyrocket jump again for me and where I've got them ranked. But right now, I think they warrant 10th for me because their defense is terrible. It's like a bottom 5, bottom 10 defense in the NFL right now. Not saying it will be that way for the full year, but right now it is in my mind. There we go. NFL closing time show. You're right. With in the chat. I love talking NFL, but we figure with only the
let's rip through the full rankings.
Yeah,
let's fucking go. No, I'm joking.
Astros, by the way, on the board. Yes, 1-0 for.
Let's go.
So there you go. There you go. Get excited there, Sharpie. And this is going to make my White Sox opinion stronger for tomorrow if Houston loses, or if Houston wins, I should say, today, because that's going to put the White Sox in. Get Giolito out of there. We can't go down 2-0 in the series, so that's kind of what I was hoping. So there you go, Astros with first blood.
Runners on first and third, too. Let's go.
Exactly. No question about that. There he is, Abel Alvarez. And, yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Brian Watson, David Mentore, Noli Knows, good to see you in the chat. Abel Alvarez, Josh Peacosh, Big Smooth, Eric Jones, 586 Soldier, not applicable, Fat Wally, everybody in the chat here. Billy Brisbane, of course, behind the scenes as well with us on the show here this afternoon. We appreciate everybody. Keep on going down the list here. Rodney Barton, thanks to everybody joining in here. Cheshire Cat joining us, pocket quarterback Lamar Jackson. there we go. Thanks to everyone for joining us on this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. We will get to best bets. We will get to Jack of the Day. I do have a couple for the Boston game tonight. We'll get to those in just a second as well. But first, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke as well. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped, promo code PubSports. Make sure you check them out. Lawnmower 4.0 and any Manscaped product, you can purchase it and get 20% off the purchase using the promo code PubSports. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Football season here, MLB playoffs, NHL next week, NBA in 2 weeks, college basketball in 1 month. I mean, now's the time. What are you waiting for? Sign up at mybookie.ag. It's the convergence of sports that annually occurs at this time of year, October, November, December, busiest time of the year for sports bettors and cappers. We all know that very well. So get on board. Mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. Check them out, mybookie.ag. Sign up for an account. Use the promo code PubSports. All right. We will get to best bets in just a second, but first, see who can go yard tonight and tomorrow, for that matter, with Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
All right, Jack of the Day. I got a couple for the game tonight, and yes, they are indeed Tampa Bay Rays players in the game tonight. We've got Brandon Lau, 4 for 13, 308 average, 3 home runs against Eduardo. Hard to ignore that track record, and he was really starting to hit some homers down the stretch for the Rays as well. So Brandon Lau against Eduardo Rodriguez. I think that's a good home run prop tonight. That's definitely the one I like the most. Maybe a smaller one on Zunino. We know he's strikeout or home run a lot of the time, but Zunino's got a 4 for 11, 364 average track record against Eduardo, and he has hit a home run. Maybe you look at a total bases prop for him as well, probably for Lau as well. So Mike Zunino, Brandon Lau could be people you look at for Jack of the Day. And this isn't Jack of the Day, but Yandy Diaz, 7 for 17, 412 average. None of them home runs, but man, Yandy Diaz could be someone you look at for
plus 650.
Yeah. Or I
you gotta go yard for me soon, man.
Oh,
Come on.
He's gonna go yard.
no doubt. So those
I'm
are the ones
taking
I
it.
look at. Diaz, Zunino, and the one I like the most is Brandon Lau for sure for the Tampa Bay Rays. Connor, what do you like for Jacks of the Day?
Yeah, the Diaz one's a huge price. Even Meadows is plus 450. But I'm gonna go Rosarena, the guy who tore it up last postseason. He's plus 475. I have plus 450. And Wander Franco's plus 550. I think it's still a good value there. Nobody good for the Red Sox value-wise. The only one, Bogarts. They're still kind of disrespecting him. Get the Jack Foreman the other night. He's plus 475 as well. Guys like Schwarber, Renfroe, they're all right. They're like 320, 350. Not enough value for me. So if you're looking for a Red Sox, I'd stick with Bogarts there at that price.
All right, there we go. Good stuff there. All right, Ski, you usually stay out from home run props, but if you don't have any home run props, just you can tell us right now what you got for your best bet for either the game tonight or the game tomorrow.
I don't really want to give a best bet that's juiced like the Rays. I don't know. I just don't want to do it. So I'm most likely to bet White Sox plus 110 tomorrow.
There we go. All right, White Sox plus 110 against the Astros. Best bet for Ski Profit. And Sharpie, what do you like here? Best bet?
Yeah, we're going to go Tampa Bay's Rays score first at even money. That's the only bet I got out on this next game. And Yeah, I just think they have especially with no JD Martinez in the lineup versus a lefty. I'll take my freaking risks versus Hernandez, Schwarber, and Bogarts. So I think I can get through the first inning unscathed, then my team could get me mine. So Tampa scores first.
There
Let's
you go.
go.
Tampa Bay. There it is. Tampa Bay to score the first run in the game tonight for Sharpie with his best bet for this Thursday/early Friday card because we did the game for Friday as well. White Sox Astros game 2. We're back, by the way, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. We'll have all 3 remaining Friday games tomorrow. Atlanta, Milwaukee, game 2, Boston, Tampa, game 1, San Francisco, LA Dodgers as well tomorrow on the show. Conor Mac, what do you got? Best bet.
I like the Rays first 5 half run, but I'm kind of breaking. I don't want to go full game and just bet a -150. Juice is too high. I'm going to take the Rays run line. I'm just going to lay it full game. They got the better team, better bullpen, better bats, better hitters. Give me them run line +135.
There you go. Yeah, +135 or so. Tampa Bay Rays -1.5 on the run line for Conor Mac with his best bet. My best bet is going to be it's going to be Tampa Bay money line. It's basically, but I'm going to be a little more conservative. You know, you could always do half on the money line, half on Connor's run line. You could do that as well. It's actually, I think that's a good way to bet.
Yeah, you could do first 5. Yeah, you could split those up, or you could do first 5 half run if you like it better. But I just think as the game goes on, they're even better than the Red Sox. So I just went full game. But you could go either way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's you could say White Sox was pretty close to best bet material because I really like them tomorrow in game 2, especially if they lose today in game 1. But I'm going to go Tampa Bay minus the best price out there right now, money line for Tampa Bay -148. We'll go with that. Tampa Bay Rays -148 money line against Boston tonight. Game 1 ALDS. That'll be my best bet for tonight. All right, that'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. Thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and we'll break down the 3 remaining Friday games in the AL and NLDS. So join us for that tomorrow. Looking forward to it. For Conor Mac, Ski Profit, Sharpie, this is Ian Cameron. Have a great night. Enjoy the games and good luck. MLB, college football, NFL. It's one hell of a Thursday night coming up.
Get it Thursday.
You
You be pumping.
Let's get it. Absolutely. Boom, boom. Let's get some money, guys. Make some money. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow right here again for the MLB Closing Time Show on Pub Sports Radio.